So, my name is Mr. McAllister. You may have heard of me. I'm your daughter or son's high school teacher. One of the things that I'm working on is helping the students in grade 8 and grade 9 prepare for life post high school. Whether they go on to college, a trade school, or go into business for themselves, there's 5 pillars of learning that they all need to know. And there's upwards of around 40% of the students don't know how to do these things or aren't doing them. And I figure if I can get some heavy hitters at home getting on them about this stuff, it's going to help them have accountability with you, accountability with me, and it's going to help them in life. So they are in ascending order, descending order. Number 1, be your own advocate. Number 2, be organized in your notebook. Number 3, bring your notebook, textbook, and projects to every class. Number 3 is write scholarly notes. Number 5 is have an organizer. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Mr. McAllister, I don't really understand what the heck you mean by these specific things. So let's get even more specific. So, be your own advocate. What does that mean? That means be your own help. I'm sure you know the word advocate, but your kids probably don't. So, what that means is when you have your wonderful little grade 8er going from grade 7 to grade 8, coming into my class, a week into school, he's not bringing his notebook, he's not bringing his pencil, he's not bringing even any paper. It does happen. That means your little one needs to come to me and say, Mr. McAllister, I need a pencil. Or Mr. McAllister, I need to go do this so that I can be in class working. Okay, so that's what being an advocate means. It means I'm not scary, I'm not out to get you, it just means I'm here to help, and I can't do that if you don't let me know you need help. So help yourself by helping yourself. Number 2 is be organized in your notebook. So I get notebooks coming into my class that look like a pile of pancakes, and it's all subjects all jumbled together. What I'd like to see between me and what you're doing at home is helping your son or daughter to be organized in their notebook. If they're not organized, they're not going to be able to find their information, their homework, and you're not going to get your best money's worth out of me. The other thing that I want to see, besides if you want to take this a step further, is have a notebook for each subject area. So we don't have to pan over, but if you're able to come into my office, I have a notebook for each one of the classes I teach, and that keeps me organized. Number 3 is bring your textbook, notebook, and projects to every class. This one can be kind of difficult if you're riding a bike, but I'd like to see the kids doing this for every class. Believe it or not, there are some kids out there that aren't doing this, and I'm having to get on them, and that's not good. Number 4 is write scholarly notes. Okay, so what does that look like? What are we looking for in scholarly notes? Well, let's talk about that. So, I have my piece of paper here, my 3-hole piece of paper. I need to start writing scholarly notes. The first thing I need to do, and a lot of these kids don't know how to do this, and I want to make sure they do, so is their name. Name's the first thing, right up in the left corner. That's whether you're in grade 8 or university, you want to have that. Number 2, you're going to have your subject. Okay, so say socials 8 is your subject. Number 3 is the date. And what these are going to do is, your son gets home from school, he has his notes, you know they're his notes and they're not somebody else's that he's accidentally grabbed. You know the subject area they're teaching in, and you know that the date is when they're, roughly when they were working on that subject area date, so you can go back in your scholarly notes and get prepared for tests. This is simple stuff, but it's also hard for these kids to do if they don't know. The next thing they're going to do is their topic. The topic will change day to day, but it always goes center at the top. And the topic lets the kids know when they're looking through their notes what they're going to be studying that day when they look back. The next thing they're going to do is their, let's use a different pen, subtopic. Now notice I use 3 different colors. So I have one color for the top, the next color for the topic, it's always the same color, and I have a third color for subtopic. And that's so that I can quickly refer to my notes in colors and not necessarily having to read through things to find it. So then, after I do that, I go back to my black or blue, whatever color you use, and you take your notes. So you write down your notes here, lovely handwriting, printing, what have you. Now, there's a good chance I'm going to switch topics, subtopics, in the class, in which case I need to go back to my red pen, and I grabbed the wrong one, and write new topic, so new subtopic. Now, I don't expect the kids to be able to do this right away, but one thing I want to show is when I'm at school, and I'm having to learn from my teachers, I always bring a couple things to class with me. I bring a ruler for my notes to take nice clean lines. I also provide 3 different color pens. So I've got one for my topic, one for my subject, and one for my notes. And that's really important. And be organized. So what does that look like, being organized? So my wife just picked me up this lovely calendar of the Japanese art and poetry show going on at the Victoria Gallery. And what I write in this is my organizer, and what I write in here is my test dates, my projects when they're due, and any assignments. And I write when they were posted and when they were due. And by doing that, I'm able to keep on top of when I have to get my work done. And I think if the kids do this, if they do these 5 pillars, which are be your own advocate, be organized in your notes, bring your notebook and textbook and projects to class, write scholarly notes, and be organized, their letter grade will go up a full letter grade. Now, you may be asking yourself, I don't know if my kid's capable of doing this. Well, when I was in grade 8 and grade 9, I was doing this. So it's doable. Okay? Thank you.